Mid-South, and some of the storms that we end up seeing could turn severe.
They also will bring some very heavy rain, especially on Friday. That could bring the potential for flash flooding.
Yeah, and in the Midwest, getting in on the rain and a dose of snow. So a little this and that for you.
And then there's temperatures that are like sky high at this point for a lot of places. So a lot to talk about here on Weather Unfiltered. So glad you could join us. I'm Mike Bettis.
I'm Alex Wilson. As always, joined by our expert, Dr. Rick Now. We've got a little bit of everything this week. We've got the warmth, as Mike mentioned. We've got severe, but we have snow for areas that have been waiting a while for it.
Mike, while you were out, I made a New Year's resolution that I'm going to stop complaining about winter, and so far it's going great. I love winter.
Where's winter?
The temperatures are in the 60s. It's kind of, nice and humid.
It's been crazy, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I think a place like Denver or Salt Lake City that had almost no snow this winter.
Yeah.
They're finally going to catch some this week.
Yeah.
Finally.
Salt Lake City gets a little bit, Denver a little bit more than that. But again, for most people, the story is the warmth.
Yeah.
One of those weather, it's kind of been foggy and damp. It's been, an interesting start to the new year. Definitely not January, not wintry at all. Severe thunderstorms on Friday focus through a good chunk of the southeast and mid-south. So a lot of Louisiana, a lot of Mississippi, a lot of Alabama, and parts of central and western Tennessee. So we've got big cities like Memphis, Nashville, Huntsville, Birmingham, Jackson, Greenville, Alexandria, Baton Rouge, and even approaching the Shreveport area, all in play for that higher risk of seeing some of those spicier thunderstorms. On Friday morning, we start things off along the Mississippi River Valley and points eastward. So we've got some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there bringing us the rain. Notice by midday, back into parts of Texas, we start to see some activity building, and those showers and thunderstorms become more numerous. They multiply, right? And then we've got more action into Louisiana, Arkansas, even sections of Mississippi, like the Jackson area by Friday afternoon. Evening hours, now we've got more clusters of thunderstorms along with some line segments. So I think we're looking at many modes of severe weather. Into the overnight, we see things line up a little bit more. So gusty winds, but still the possibility is there for very heavy rain, for hail, even an isolated tornado. Friday into early Saturday, there's your flash flood risk. So there is going to be a possibility of too much water, especially given that some of these areas could see repeated rounds of showers and thunderstorms. So we look at a Jackson, a Meridian, a Starkville, and then Birmingham to Huntsville, that stretch of I-65. A lot of the state of Tennessee, at least the middle and eastern part of the state, northwest Georgia, extreme western parts of North Carolina. In Jackson, Mississippi, timing looks like this. Thursday night, we'll see thunderstorms start to arrive very late. So most of your daytime and even evening hours on Thursday, they're going to be dry. Friday night, thunderstorms likely. Again, heavy rain and some strong thunderstorms likely into our Friday. By Saturday morning, we're wrapping up with some morning showers, temperatures in the mid-60s. Future radar showing the Jackson area. Here's what I'm talking about. Again, most of the day Thursday is totally dry, more of an isolated chance of a thunderstorm late. But by Friday morning, already getting some showers and thunderstorms. That continues into the afternoon, and this is kind of the main event. These are the storms that are going to be friskier. So 4, 5, 6 o'clock, not just strong thunderstorms, but very heavy downpours for your late day drive. And some of those shower and thunderstorm chances linger through the overnight, even into Saturday morning, Dr. Nab.
Well, Alex.
Well, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We're getting ready for the ups and the downs of the city. It's been a lot here for the first week of January. I guess weather just trying to keep things interesting as we get back to the doldrums of real life, taking down the holiday decorations, getting back to work. So something's got to be exciting, and maybe it is the weather. We've got rain showers, temps in the mid-40s on Thursday. Right around 40, get to see some sunshine Friday. The weekend, though, bringing much chillier temperatures, especially by Sunday. That comes on the heels of some Saturday snow. Back to 30 Sunday, and then we're stuck in the 30s on Monday, at least upper 30s. Again, sunshine comes back. 40 with rain and snow on Tuesday. Back to the low 30s with light snow showers Wednesday of next week. So again, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little up, a little down. We've got all sorts of stuff headed our way. Snow coming to parts of the Great Lakes region, the Midwest, the middle of the country, northern central plains. When we look at the European model, this is what that forecast is. Thinking 1 to 3 inches for many. Some of those 3 to 5 and 5 to 8 inch totals focused into sections of Minnesota, but especially parts of Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan. USGFS model, very, very similar. Again, for a lot of the region, accumulations are going to be on the lighter side, the 1 to 3 3-inch amounts, some 3 to 5-inch totals there across the state of Iowa. But most of the heavier amounts, those 3 to 5, 5 to 8-inch totals, going to be focused from Minnesota, especially into Wisconsin and the UP of Michigan. So better agreement today than what we're seeing yesterday in terms of totals. Remember, yesterday, both the footprints were pretty close when it comes to who was going to see the snow. On Friday, it's that upper level low that it will enhance the snow over the Front Range. We've been telling you how Denver's actually getting some snow. Saturday night, this system's tracking all the way to the northeast. So now we've got the Great Lakes in play for the snow showers. Some areas, though, on the warmer side of this, looking at rain. As cold air moves over that warmer lake water, you know the drill. We've seen quite a bit of it this season. We've got that lake-enhanced snow. So this may not be true lake effect, but with the system also taking advantage of the lakes, we will see some enhancement in those lake-favored areas, especially, again, in the UP of Michigan, northern parts of lower Michigan. So those spots could be some of the winners. We'll start out in many areas with a little bit of rain. So here's Thursday evening. Notice it's rain across just about the entire region, the exceptions places like Omaha. Then we've got that system quickly sliding east. Here, late Friday into Saturday, we start to see the snow overspread the area. Now, places like St. Louis, even around Chicago, it's either rain or a rain-snow mix. You got to go farther north to get in on that just pure snowfall, and that's why the upper Great Lakes are really limited in those big totals. And even so, I guess not the most massive totals we've ever seen, but 5 to 8 inches. I think that's pretty good. That'll be wrapping up into the day on Sunday with some lingering snow showers for the second half of the weekend. Snowfall totals, this is what we're thinking, 3 to 5 inches around parts of Michigan, the UP, and parts of lower Michigan, as well as sections of Wisconsin. Outside of that, I think this is going to be a pretty manageable 1 to 3 inches of snow. So we'll continue to watch the models, Mike, see if we need to up any of those amounts. But I think 3 to 5 will be the top of the line.
Yeah, a little reminder that winter
is having a boat, apparently.
Like if you've got a little boat, you might be able to put a cover on it. But if you have a bigger boat, there's no chance. Yes. Or you've got, a commercial vessel.
Sounds like you need a boat boy to stay there in the winter. You got to pay big bucks, though, to the winter boat boy to shovel. You need to get Bill's Mafia over there. They'll shovel anything for 20 bucks and a couple hot beverages.
All those fans up there in Green Bay got nothing to do.
Yeah.
Just a little road trip up to Juneau.
Now we've got boat people.
Stadiums, boats. There's no difference.
Seems like a great Weather Unfiltered live shot for the one and only Dr. Rick Knabb.
There's no chance.
You would hate that.
He's frozen.
Actually, hold on. I actually can feel the eyes burning on the back of my neck. Right. You are watching Weather Unfiltered. I'm Alex Olson. He's Mike Bettis. Dr. Knabb is literally right there.
Yes.
Yep. No, I'm afraid.
He's going to drive 4 days to Juneau to be paid $4 an hour to shovel snow. And he gets hot chocolate and a turkey sandwich.
Exactly. Well, at least going to bring us snowfall since July 1st. I know you're like, July 1st, really? Well, through the second half of the year, 20.7 inches. That puts us above average, a surplus of 8 inches. So we're running ahead of schedule, ahead of average. Also, we're not near it, but, we wish for it if you're a snow lover. Snowiest season through this time of year would be 1951, where we saw 52 inches. Some of you I know at home are going, thank goodness we did not see that. I do not want that much snow, but we're about half of that. Snowfall compared to average, again, Pittsburgh running about 8 inches above average. Can you imagine that season? Man. Scranton running 5 inches above average. Boston 7 inches below average, about 3.5 inches below average there in Buffalo, Mike. What a difference a year makes, right? We had really dry conditions leading up to those very intense winds that led to the fire. So January 1st, 2025, just a few days before that, we had severe drought across much of Southern California, even extreme drought getting into the farther south areas, Palm Springs, 2 spots to the east of San Diego. This year, on the other hand, we've seen quite a bit of rain. In fact, too much water going through December. We had water rescues in places like San Diego. So 1/1600 inches of rain from July to December 2024. That left things very, very dry to start the year 2025. Meanwhile, July through December of 2025, we have seen almost 11.75 inches of rain. So very, very different years. Now, we watch, this water will help to bring a lot more vegetation growth So that could become a problem farther down the road. But obviously the short-term issue has not been dry and fire danger. It has been the problems that come with water. Latest check of the drought monitor, no drought conditions across Southern California. Again, it's been, flooding concerns we've really been highlighting here across the southwest part of the state and the country. Camp Fire remains the most destructive wildfire. That one back in 2018. But the Eaton and Palisades fire take the number 2 and 3 spots coming in 2025.
Especially across the middle of the country.
And just about every severe weather event has a flash flood component. And Friday, some of the southeastern states into Friday night could have some significant flooding.
And for some of you, it's a little bit of both. The Midwest, you get in on rain and then snow to follow. So a little of this, a little of that.
So we're melting last week's snow, and then we're going to have to repile it up again.
We are for sure. Dr. Rick Knabb, Alex Wilson, I'm Mike Bettis. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here for Weather Unfiltered. Oh, and by the way, going hand in hand with all that, or before a lot of that, is record-setting high temperatures.
Temps have been in the 70s, even 80s. If they're not tying records, they're breaking them.
Come on now.
Somebody's happy. Somebody likes it. You did this because you did say on New Year's Day that your resolution was to not be whiny about winter.
Yeah,
so
and it's going fantastic
winter
so
just
far.
didn't show up.
I am behaving so well.
You know there's going to be payback at some point, right? There always is.
I love winter.
Yeah. Dr. Knabb, as long as he keeps saying winter, you keep saying warmth, or seeing warmth, Oklahoma City.
What a great reuse. Faster is the key here, I think, for so many families that still have not even begun to rebuild yet.
And we talked yesterday about the need to fireproof. Think about building better. Maybe in the saving of using the old homes, you're able to then put that money towards actually making this a more resilient home.
Yeah, what truly takes that effort to the next level is putting the Class A roofs on that are the most fire resistant because of the materials they're made out of, and those eaves, the part where the roof sticks out over where the wall is, to stop embers from coming in and burning the structure from the inside out. You can also do double paned windows, which help, and fireproof materials for your siding. I mean, there's a lot of things that can be done to an historic home to make it even more fire resistant. Even if the houses are close together, you can lessen the speed at which a fire spreads.
You wonder, too, then, if you give your community a new look, a new charm, a new essence after the storm, after the firestorm. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of keeping the old charm, the old character, but going forward with new. And again, we talked yesterday about this area is not going to get less dense. So we have to think about making it more fortified, more resilient should this happen again.
Yeah, and it's not just about what materials you use to rebuild or retrofit a home. It's also about what is within about 5 feet of your structure. You don't want any vegetation, really, within about 5 feet of your structure. Those little green gas cans, as IBHS sometimes calls them, you want to remove that fuel that accelerates the spread of a fire from one house to the next.
Don't you think it says a lot, though, when they said in the piece there are 180 people on the wait list for that particular program? There's a need.
Yeah, absolutely. There are so many people. I mean, Katie Tutrone, Justin Michaels have been out there telling.
The remembrances are important, but also the fundraising efforts that are going to be going on for the foreseeable future, because there are still people who need the resources to rebuild, relocate, and make their home more resistant, because we want to save people from having to go through this again.
You're rebuilding in a very unique way, but building back still resilient, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I love to see it. And coming on the heels of other people having issues because of the flooding. So if you are, tempted or moved to help, I'm sure the people there would love that.
And if you're thinking, we can't afford these sorts of upgrades, they can give you a break on insurance. You should ask.
For sure.
You think have gotten a lot of snow this year, like Denver? They haven't gotten so much, but you got to bring that shovel back out. Can you find it in your garage?
All right, we'll dig it out. We'll find a way for sure. But coming along with some of that mountain snow will also be a chance for some severe weather. Places like the Southern Plains, the Mid-South, and the Southeast.
And we got 2 weather systems producing Thursdays and Fridays severe weather. Training showers and thunderstorms, a flood risk.
Yeah, it could be a bit of a mess. Now, the Midwest, you're going to get in on some of that rain, but then you get a little dose of snow later in the week. So a 1-2 punch.
All kinds of different seasons playing out for us right now. For some of you, it almost feels like spring or summer.
It does.
It's so hot.
Yeah, there's a lot of flip-flopping and a lot of warmth on those temperature maps. We have seen records being broken or tied, 70s and 80s today.
I think about people in January like, oh, I thank goodness like my electricity bill is a lot lower in the winter because I don't have to run my AC.
Yeah.
And they're going to be in for a shock when they get that bill.
Yeah.
Remember how cold and snowy it got right after Thanksgiving? We thought, man, if early December's like this, what's January going to be like?
Right.
Oh, it's going to be hot.
And January's like, oh, 80s.
It's going to be like April.
It's a blowtorch out there. It's nuts.
Well, you are watching Weather Unfiltered here on a Wednesday. Mike Bettis, Dr. Rick Knabb, I'm Alex Wilson. We've got all of that to tell you about. I know you're like, I feel like that meme where the guy's just pointing at everything, but we'll go through one at a time.
All right, so let's take you to Oklahoma City.